what we're going to do here is we're going to make a butterfly and have the wings flap and have that butterfly follow a path. So what I have set here in Maya are 3 planes. One plane is the body, 2 for the wings, and I have a path, which is a NURBS curve, and I will show you how to create that path. First off, we want to make the wings flap on the butterfly. So to do that, we're going to parent the wings to the body. In my outliner, I have a body, and I duplicated that body 2 times. One for the left wing and one for the right wing. So I want to go ahead and rename those so they're named properly. So I'll just double click here in the channel or in the outliner, and you can do this in the channel box as well, but I'm going to click here and call this one wing left and call the other body duplicate wing right. So I have my 2 wings, and I'm going to parent these to the body, which is this central plane. Just to make things easier to see, I'm going into shading, and I'm going to say wireframe unshaded. So now it's a little bit easier to see. I have a wireframe outlining the planes. First thing I want to do is freeze transformations on the body. So if you look right now, we should be okay. We have all the attributes in the channel set to their defaults, translates and rotations at 0, scales at 1. But if there was any type of change there, like see how I moved it a little bit in the rotations, I'm going to undo that actually. But if there was any other numbers here besides the defaults, you just want to make sure you go to modify freeze transformations, and that will bring everything back to their default values. And this way, by doing that, when I parent the wings to the body, the wings won't take on any values from that parent, because what happens is sometimes the child will take on values from the parent, and that child will not animate properly. You'll see it deform as any animations applied to it. But we should be okay now. So next, I will go ahead and parent the wings to the body, or the child wing to the parent body. To do that, I'm going to use the outliner to the left here. I'm going to middle mouse click and drag and drop a wing onto a body, drag and drop another wing onto a body. Now when I move the body, the wings go with it. And then when I rotate each wing, I'm going to hit E. That wing is going to rotate, and it should rotate without you seeing any deformations there, which is what we want. See, it rotates properly. So the next thing I'm going to do is animate this along this path. So I have a NURBS curve here, and you see I just selected it and I have it highlighted here. Just if you want to make your own really quickly, go into create, select curve. I'm using a CV curve, so just select CV curve and click multiple times. Each point you lay down is defining a point at the end of a Bezier. It's not defining a point on the curve itself. So these points are giving our control vertices on the outside of the curve that define the shape of the curve. So there's a new curve right there. And I'm going to have this shape, this butterfly shape, follow the curve. So I'm going to select the parent body, then I'm going to select the curve, and then I will go into animation, the animation menu here, and I will go to Constrain, Motion Paths, Attach to Motion Path. So this technique uses this motion path command here, which is found in the Constrain menu. It used to be in the Animation menu in previous versions of Maya. So if you use an earlier version, that's where you would find it. But now in the later versions of Maya, it's in the Constrain menu. I'm going to click on the options. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that the front axes and the up axes are in the proper direction on that curve. Otherwise, the butterfly won't fly straight. So to do that, I'm going to actually bring up my manipulator and see which way the butterfly is facing. So I'm going to close this out. I'm going just to select on the butterfly shape, hit W, and what I have here is the green arrow. So yellow is the up axis, blue is my front axis, and that is the Z direction. So yellow up and Z front. So I will go back now into Constrain motion paths, attach the motion paths options. So yellow is Z was front and yellow was up, hit apply. And now my butterfly is facing the proper direction, and I will scrub the timeline. And as you see, this is moving properly along that path. So next up, we'll be making the wings flap. So I'm going to go into my perspective view, and on the bottom here of the screen, make sure my timeline is set to 1. I'm going to select wing left. I'm going to hit E for rotate. So I will be rotating along the Z axis. So I will go into my channel box, left click on rotate Z, then right click and say key selected. So a key is now set on the Z axis. And I will go to 10 frames and I will rotate that wing down. Go back to rotate Z and hit key selected again. And so I have my first flap that's set here from frames 1 to 10. The wing is moving up and then down. Now to have that motion repeat on the full path, I am going to go into my graph editor. So under Windows, under Animation Editors, go to Graph Editor, bring up your graph editor, select Rotate Z for your wing, hit F on the keyboard, and that brings that curve into view. So now it's filling my graph editor. Select it, go to Curves and select Post Infinity, and I'm going to select Cycle. And now when I scroll through the timeline, that wing is flapping. In order to see that full cycle, I can go into View in the graph editor and then select Infinity, and now I see that full flapping curve happening. Here, cycle is kind of giving me a jump. So instead of selecting cycle, I am going to go into Post Infinity and select Oscillate. And Oscillate is going to have the wing go up and then go down. So as you can see, that wing is going up and down. And so that's the wing flapping. And now all I have to do is the other wing, the right wing. And I will save that for you to do. But this is the quick and easy way to use a motion path and have something follow it and to create some sort of animation that repeats itself.